Good evening. We would like to welcome all of you to Daysland School's 2023 graduation ceremonies. My name is Taylor Berkshire and this is Dylan Crookton. We will be the MCs for this evening. We will first start the ceremonies with the treaty acknowledgement.
We wish to acknowledge that the land on which we gather today is Treaty 6 territory, and a traditional meeting ground for many Indigenous peoples. Let us pay our respects to elders past and present, for they hold the memories, traditions, cultures, and hope for Indigenous Canadians. Before we continue earlier today, the sound system was making a popping noise, so we want to let everyone know in case it happens again.
I would now like to draw your attention to the class of 2023. Graduates, as you were introduced, please come up and take your seat on the stage. Xander L. Xander is most known as Big Z. In his spare time, he enjoys playing hockey and going to the gym. His favorite high school memory was hitting Mr. Martz with a dodgeball and bending his glasses, causing him to lose his cool. Xander's future plans are to go to NAIT and become an electrician.
Jared Robbins. In his spare time, Jared enjoys working out and sports. His favorite high school memory was the high school ski trip. In the future, he plans on going to college at Vermilion to become a firefighter.
Curtis Kozlowski. Curtis's hobbies in his free time include playing basketball, working out, and hanging out with friends. His favorite high school memories are going on the ski trip, doing laps around the school, and hiking trip. Curtis' future plans are to go to Lakeland College and become an electrician.
Jeremy Gooley. In his spare time, Jeremy enjoys playing basketball and working. His favorite high school memories are Ivan wanting him to open the door while saying open the door in the last day of every school year. In the future, Jeremy plans on going to Lakeland College for crop technician.
Also known as Josh. In his spare time, he enjoys swimming. His favorite high school memory was the ski trips he went on in the Euro trip. Next year, Josh plans on going to post-secondary for mechanical engineering.
Shane Gooley. In his spare time, Shane enjoys playing basketball. Shane's favorite high school activity was playing on the basketball team. In the future, Shane plans on going to Lakeland College for animal sciences.
Nathan Logan. Nathan's hobbies include quadding, playing video games, hanging out with friends, and other shenanigans to drive his mom crazy. His favorite high school memory was a senior high school trip to Jasper. In the future, he plans on going to contracting for home renovations.
Anson Weeb. Anson is also known as Old Man. In his spare time, he enjoys playing video games, hanging out with friends, and staying up to date on current events. Anson's favorite high school memory is going on the Fazette hiking trip. Anson's favorite future plans are to go to McEwen to study police investigations, then work as a police officer.
Ivan Hudson. Ivan's nicknames include Evan, Crazy Ivan, Ivan, and Big H. In his spare time, Ivan enjoys playing video games, video game development, watching NBA, and working on cars. Ivan's favorite high school memory is when Ryder tried to convince Miss Walker to become Walter White in his class. In the future, Ivan plans to either become an officer in the armed forces or go to university to become a major.
Eric Keeping. Eric's nickname is Crow. In his free time, he enjoys gaming, collecting Pokemon cards, creating different cosplay designs, making art, and doing voice impressions. Eric's favorite memory from high school is winning Scariest Costume Award on Halloween. Next year, Eric isn't sure of his plans, but he is considering being a social worker.
Andrew Johns. In his free time, Andrew loves playing basketball, watching sports, and his favorite high school memory was the senior high ski trip, playing on the senior high basketball team and walking in the halls with Ray and Shane. Andrew's plans for the future are going to University of Lethbridge to become a teacher.
Pearl Downey. Pearl's nicknames include Earl and Brownie. In her spare time, Pearl's hobbies include playing with her dog, reading, hanging out with friends, and playing piano. Her favorite school memories are Math 30-1, but not the math itself. Home ec classes, travel club, and ski trip. Next year, she plans on attending University of British Columbia for a degree in anthropology, then pursuing a career in the healthcare field.
Carlin is also known as Car. In her spare time, she enjoys dancing, hanging out with her dog, and spending time with friends and family. Her favorite high school memories are going on the travel club trip, participating in Savvy, Math 30 with Pearl and Riley, and the ski trip. Next year, Carlin plans on attending University of Alberta for psychology and better pursue her Master's of Speech Language Pathology.
Jalen Schneider. Jalen is also known as Jay or JJ. In her spare time, she enjoys playing volleyball, riding her horses, playing piano, and binge watching The Outer Banks. Her favorite memory from high school is playing capture the flag in gym class. In the future, she plans to go to Lakeland College for animal health technician and helps them move away somewhere warm.
Riley Zimmel. Riley's nicknames are Rye, Riles, or to a family, Molly. In her free time, she loves playing hockey and volleyball, hanging out with friends, and going on late-night dawn runs. Her favorite high school memories are the travel club trip, bugging Andrew about the leaves with Mr. Wilson, and playing sports with Reyes. Next year, she plans on attending Red Deer Polytechnic for a kinesiology degree, and then hopes to continue her education with a career in physiotherapy in University of Alberta.
Emma Schoenfelder. In her spare time, Emma likes to spend her time with her friends, go horseback riding, play sports, travel, and enjoy life. Her favorite high school memories are the theme days, home ec classes, Halloween, playing volleyball, doing work experience, grade 2 class, and going on a ski trip. In the future, she plans on getting her diploma in Germany, studying psychology in Austria, and continuing to travel all around the world.
In her spare time, Ray enjoys playing sports, hanging with friends. Her favorite high school memories are the travel club trip, playing sports with Riley, and walking the halls with Andrew and Shane. In the future, she plans on going to school in Lethbridge for agriculture sciences.
Shia Blake. In her spare time, Shia enjoys lifting weights at the gym, playing piano, and smoking fish and peppers on the weekend. Her favorite high school memory is all of the option courses related to fitness and health that she took throughout grades 7 to 10. This is what led her to love for lifting and health. Next year, she plans on attending Mount Royal University for personal fitness training, compete in her first bodybuilding competition, and always live, laugh, lift.
Bailey is also known as Fails. In her spare time, she enjoys working, traveling, and late-night drives with loud music. Her favorite memory from high school is going to the highest point on the highest mountain, the sketchiest chairlift during Jasper 2022, the ski trip. Her future plans are to get into University of Alberta dental program to study general dentistry and one day receive her master's degree in orthodontics.
Sierra Dabbs. Sierra's hobbies include playing video games, watching sports, and terrorizing her family for fun. Her favorite high school memory is Ryder trying to make Miss Walker become Walter White in physics class. In the future, Sierra plans on going to Royal Military College in Kingston to train to become a fighter pilot. Now that our graduates are assembled, will everyone please rise for the playing of O Canada?
Thank you, everyone. Before we begin the rest of the ceremony, I would like to introduce some special guests who are with us this evening. Mr. Wilson, the principal of Daysland School and one of the guest speakers this evening. Ms. Thomas, the assistant principal of Daysland School. Ms. Rayanne Walker, the other guest speaker for this evening. Ms. Shan Gordson Adam, the deputy superintendent of BRSD. Mr. Dwight Dibben, the BRSD member representing Flagstaff County, and his wife, Marnie. Mr. Wayne Button, the mayor of Daysland, and his wife, Glenda.
This evening, we're also joined by some teachers and coaches of the graduating class. We have Ms. Johnson, Mr. Pashachuk, Ms. M. Zimmer, Ms. Reber, Mr. Graytrix, and Ms. Mackay. We'd also like to say special thanks to Lacey Schlow and Madison Nicola for being our ushers this evening, and thanks as well to Casey Breckkreitz for being our music technician.
First up, we will have Ms. Thomas to give the speeches to the graduates.
First, I'm glad none of them tripped on their way up, because the deal was if they tripped, I had to trip. Good evening, graduates, families, friends, and community members. We're pleased to welcome you here this evening to celebrate this outstanding group of students. This evening's event is intended to acknowledge and celebrate the hard work that has gone into getting to this point, and to recognize that while this is a tremendous achievement, this is only the beginning of many great things yet to come for each of our graduates. There's been a lot of excitement building over the past few weeks as preparations have been underway for this evening's event. And in addition to thanking these kids for their hard work, I'd also like to acknowledge Mrs. Walker and the time and energy she's put in to making tonight a success. 5 years ago, as he was preparing to leave our school, one of our former teachers brought me a stack of letters and asked me to hang on to them until the kids who wrote them graduated and then give them back. You are these kids, and I have your letters to return to you. While I won't give them back tonight, I do want to share a few things from these letters. They were written at the end of your grade 7 year, and you must have been asked to reflect on the experience of your first year of junior high, and then write about the goals you had for yourselves over the next 5 years of school. Some of the things you wrote about were how nervous you felt starting junior high, how you were convinced you would never remember your locker combination or even remember how to use the lock, and how you doubted yourselves and wondered whether you would be successful or not. Maybe not such different feelings than some of you are experiencing again now, as you prepare to leave school and start the next phase of your lives. In your goals for the next 5 years, you wrote about things like finding success in sports, learning how to manage stress, getting good grades, and using those good grades to pursue a variety of post-secondary opportunities. You also offered some hopes for and advice to your future selves. Some of the things you said were, I want to keep moving forward, and I know it will be hard pulling yourself up, but you can do it. Believe in yourself. One of you wrote, the only advice I have for you is to trust your gut. And another said, I hope to be smart, kind, strong, and courageous. I want to have a dream or goal for life and do things to help me achieve it. But most importantly, I want to be happy. Pretty remarkable thoughts from your 12 and 13-year-old selves. But then again, you are a pretty remarkable group of young adults. The impact you've had on our school has been tremendous and will leave a big hole to fill. We appreciate the few weeks we still have left with you walking our halls every day, and are pleased to have this evening's events dedicated to celebrating you and your achievements. Parents, for the past 12 plus years, you have shared your children with us, and we don't take that for granted. We are lucky to have played a role in their lives to this point, and look forward to hearing of their accomplishments as they work to turn their daydreams into reality. Thank you all again for coming, and we hope you enjoy the rest of this evening, celebrating our graduating class of 2023.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. I would now like to invite our guest speakers, Mr. Wilson and Ms. Walker, to the stage.
Good evening, friends, family, in the class of 2023. First of all, I have to admit, you look amazing tonight. It is a pleasure for Mrs. Walker and I to be your guest speakers. For those who may not know me, my name is Wes Wilson, and I am the principal of Daysland School. I have not actually taught this class. However, in my 4 years at this school, I have become quite fond of this group. I appreciate, respect, and admire them. Hurts to say that in public, but I'll do it anyway. Truthfully, if I had my way, I would like to keep you here for as long as possible, but I know it's time to let you go. However, before you depart, I'm incredibly grateful I have the opportunity to speak on your behalf to recognize and celebrate your time here at Daysland School. I also look forward to roasting you a little on your way out, but we'll save that fun for a little bit later on.
For those that don't know, my name is Rand Walker, and I have had the honor of teaching this class for the past 3 years. From science and math in grade 10 during the pandemic, to physics, chemistry, and biology throughout grades 11 and 12, I can say honestly that this has been one of my absolute favorite groups of students to teach. I always looked forward to those times in my schedule where I got to teach this class no matter the subject. Even when I had to teach a few of them about logarithms and trig identities, which I'm sure left some of them with lasting trauma. Being with this group made every class more entertaining and enjoyable. They are actually solely to blame for me having a monthly subscription to Lookits so that they could have early access to the games.
Mrs. Walker and I started our speech planning by asking ourselves what defines this group of students. We kept coming up with 2 themes, acceptance and leadership. I felt affirmed when I asked other staff members this question, and they responded with the same 2 words. There may not be a better compliment for a class of high school students. In a time when it feels like we're struggling as a society to overcome our differences and accept one another, you as a group of young people demonstrated it so masterfully what a positive place our classes, schools, and communities can be when everyone accepts people for who they are. You built one another up, looked out for each other, and genuinely enjoyed one another's company. This is not to say it was always perfect, but you always demonstrated that differences did not have to ruin your relationships.
There were several times where things would get quite heated when they would start discussing politics, in physics class, mind you, so I'm not sure how that came up. However, after reminding a few of them, definitely not Josh and Ivan, that swearing isn't the best way to get your point across, they would usually say their piece and then get back to laughing with each other by the end of class. I also remember one day early on in grade 10 when I was still getting to know this group, Eric asked if he could take some time in math class to ask everyone about his Halloween costume ideas. And I said, sure, go for it. I wasn't really sure how this was going to go, but he spoke up and asked the class if they could give him some feedback. Shia immediately started asking follow-up questions, and I could hear a chorus throughout the whole class of other students offering their recommendations on characters and colors and design options. And I just remember being struck by how the entire class took an active interest in one of their classmates' passions. There was no judgment. They all just joined together to offer advice and support something, that was important to one of their own. They ended up encouraging him to come up with multiple costumes for the day. And of course, Eric never disappoints when it comes to Halloween. Throughout the years, I've seen multiple examples like this where they've demonstrated that they really just care immensely about each other as well as the other students in the school.
I recall coming to the school when you were in grade 9. I had always been in an elementary school before Daysland School, and I wasn't sure what it was going to be like to have big kids. remember constantly being pulled in the direction of your class. You made me feel welcome, and I enjoyed our interactions. Usually involved me teasing someone for something or taking some good-natured chirps back. As your classes continued to grow, I have considered this group exceptional leaders. Some of you were official leaders through Savvy or other leadership groups, while others were simply leaders by example. You led with your kindness, hard work, and general acceptance of each other and peers from other grades. Your absence next year is going to leave big shoes to fill. In preparation for this speech, Mrs. Walker and I discussed the class's theme, When Daydreams Become Reality, which got us thinking, what dreams would we like to see become a reality for this class? So, after some reminiscing and research, this is what we came up for each of you. And if the technology holds out, we have some pictures and video for your viewing pleasure. Pearl. May you continue to take on and overcome every challenge in the same way you tackled walking to Camrose from Daysland to prove a point, or learning the names of every single Edmonton Oilers player in just one night, even though we gave you a whole week. We also hope that you show off your windmill dance again at some point in your life. Here's a demonstration for all to see. It was a sight to behold. Xander. In September, you plan to start working towards your goal of being an electrician. This is actually your teacher's dream job for you because, unlike your assignments, whoops, I went too far. Darn it, I ruined my joke. Let me restart that one, because it's a good one. This is actually your teacher's dream job for you because, unlike your assignments, when working with chords, it will be acceptable for you to always need an extension to get your job done. We'll just let that soak in for a minute. Jeremy. As you head off to school next year, our hope for you is that you get a good night's sleep so you don't end up napping in class like you did in that restaurant in Berlin or the bus through Europe. Andrew. Now that your hockey team has finally won a series, we hope that your next dream of becoming the principal of Daysland School will come true so that when you tell people you run the school, you'll actually be telling the truth for once. I just hope that your first day on the job isn't as scary as this moment was for you. That just never gets old. I won't do that to you, Andrew. Your team's already down 2-0. Nathan. Hope for my friend Nathan is that perhaps you stay out of the computer business. My reason for suggesting this is because I feel like you would lose all of your inventory. Whenever a Chromebook seemed to go missing in school, I typically had to go to one spot, and it was your locker.
Cheyenne. We hope you approach all life's experiences with that positive attitude, kindness, and incredible determination you're known for. We also hope that you achieve your fitness goals and get swole. Sierra. We hope you achieve your dream of becoming a fighter pilot, or a journalist, or a photographer, or a poet. Maybe you'll become the first ever photographic journalist, fighter, pilot, poet. Regardless, we hope you get the chance to continue traveling the world and taking photos of your friends with the most awkward facial expressions, so you can continue to share them with all of us. Shane. After graduating from the interior design program at Lakeland, our dream for you is that you open your own successful line of sandwich shops so that you will always be able to eat them on the job. Bailey. Our greatest wish for Bailey is that someday you're able to get yourself a car that is nice and reliable. You know, one that starts and allows you to get to work every day. Ivan. We hope you get to put your Russian language skills to good use one day so that all that class time spent on Duolingo won't go waste. And one day we hope you'll kick that Coke addiction you seem to have too.
Carla. You've been such a tremendous leader in our school. We dream that you'll be able to use those skills to make the world a better place. You could start by making my world a better place and donating a Taylor Swift to a certain principal that let you win a step challenge in Europe. Rhea. Everything you do, you seem to do it with joy. Even getting from place to place is a fun activity. Like the time I was doing some investigative work on the security cameras and stumbled upon you and Shane doing this duck walk thing down the hallway. Or there's this footage of you walking down the street in France. They proceeded to do that the whole way down. I hope you keep going places in life with that kind of joy. Jared! I'm waiting for this one. Jared, we know you have a dream to be a firefighter, and I think you would be amazing at the job. Our dream for everyone else, so that their houses don't burn down, is that they have a special fire bell that goes off 15 minutes sooner so that you'll actually be on time. Riley, you could choose. Which dream would you want more? Become the assistant to the regional manager of a paper supply company, or for the Oilers to beat the Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals so you could taunt Andrew relentlessly for the last few days of school. It would, however, be less challenging for the Oilers to beat the Leafs than to watch an entire Oilers game on an overcrowded train from Berlin to Amsterdam. It was a memory.
I picked Oilers, by the way.
Josh, you are a wise young man, and you are filled with so much knowledge. Our dream for you is that you find a career path where you can share that love of knowledge with others, and wear a kilt while you do it, because you make it look good.
Eric, you already do kind of bring your dreams into reality with all of your art projects, although some might be closer to nightmares than dreams. There's just a few examples of some of the faces that would be lurking in the back of my physics classroom every day. Our hope for you, Eric, is that you continue to use your incredible imagination and creativity wherever you go in life. Curtis. For a grad gift, we hope you get a new pair of walking shoes after all the laps you did in the halls, whether it be taking the long way around to the bathroom, filling up your water bottle, or insisting that we're on a break. I would imagine your current shoes must be worn out. Jane, you wouldn't think it from looking at her, as she looks or seems the picture of innocence, but Jaylin can be quite ruthless. After you graduate, we hope everyone in your college classes is quiet, for fear that you yell at them to shut up, like you do every day to Jared and Curtis. Emma, We hope the memories and friendships you've built over the past year will remain with you for a lifetime. We've appreciated having you with us this year. Auf Wiedersehen, bis Montag. Anson. Our hope for you is that you have the same ridiculous amount of luck that you seem to always have when playing fishing buckets. We also hope you don't end up with a job at a dairy barn, as last time you went, we hear it did not go very well.
Before Mrs. Walker wraps up our speech, it is only fitting that I get a little sentimental, or in my feels, as the kids like to say. Today represents a happy, sad day for me. I am happy for you as a class, because you are blessed to look back on your time at this school knowing that you have done your job well. I can honestly say that you've made this school a better place during your time here. Enjoy these final days and weeks together, finish your studies strong, and don't forget to thank those people that helped you get to this point. I'm also sad because we will miss you. I will miss coming into your class to see what you're learning and then getting completely sidetracked by random stories and jokes or getting a direct squirt from a water gun in the ear. Don't ask. Also, who am I going to hassle when I have to open the door 15 minutes after O Canada because they didn't get up on time? Or harass in the hallways about taking the long way to everywhere? Or, of course, talk all things sports. You are indeed a unique group for all the right reasons. Well, mostly the right reasons.
Looking to next year, I know I will miss each of you and all of your goofy antics. From shoelace tying races and paper airplane building tutorials to the constant bantering back and forth over every topic imaginable. I don't think I'll ever have another class like this one. You've definitely left your mark on this school and a lasting impression on your teachers. To finish off, we have one final piece of advice. Don't be afraid to have big dreams. Remember, though, that just having dreams isn't enough. If you want to achieve your goals in life, it's going to take determination and perseverance. But if all that hard work turns those daydreams into reality, then it will have all been worth it. Thank you for having Mr. Wilson and myself as your guest speakers this evening. And again, congratulations to the graduating class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson and Ms. Walker. Next, I would like to call on the class representatives, Carlin and Pro, to give thank yous on behalf of the class.
Good evening, family, friends, and honored guests. We thank you for joining us in celebrating this milestone tonight. My name is Carlin Pedia, and this is Pro Down. As representatives of the class of 2023, we would like to take a few moments to look back on our time at Daysland School. As we were writing this speech, we realized the real reason why people voted us into this position. In grade 5, Mrs. Carlson came up with a system to keep peace in the classroom, where anyone who was disruptive got their name put on the board. If the distractions continued, ticks would be put beside your name, and 5 ticks led to a call home from a very unhappy Mrs. Carlson. Impressively, our names never once got put on that board, which was the start of our studious reputations that have followed us to this moment.
All of these years have shaped the people we have turned into, and we would like to take a moment to reflect on that. Our time at this school has taught us a lot of lessons and come with many memories.
The first lesson we learned is that any problem can have a solution as long as you are creative enough. For most of the guys, grade 3 was a time consumed by a strange obsession with bacon. In fact, it was all they could talk about. After months of Mrs. Nicola continuously trying to direct their minds away from bacon and towards schoolwork, she came up with a unique solution. If the boys could manage to not talk about bacon for the entire week, she would bring in an entire crock pot of bacon for our consumption. Let's just say we went home full on Friday.
Number 2, patience. Once upon a time, Carla rushed back to class after a strenuous gym period to chug her lunch milk and quench her thirst. After watching her spit out chunky, spoiled milk into the sink, the class quickly learned the consequences of impatience. It's safe to say everyone checked their milk before drinking it from that point on.
Number 3, the value of fact-checking. Although this was a lesson that our teachers tried to instill in us all the way into our last year of school, it only really sunk in when we recently began to question the validity of stories from our elementary years. We all have distinct memories of Mr. Whittleton's puppy stories, in which he shared the adventures of his dogs. Perhaps we should have questioned our source when he told us that his dogs broke into the school in the middle of the night and were caught on the cameras playing fetch in the gym.
Number 4, always pay attention to your surroundings when you're running, especially around volleyball nets. Enough said.
Number 5, the importance of communication. The girls' all-time favorite recess activity was our original game, Tree Tag. We won't go into the details, but just know the lack of communication while playing the game often led to much forced communication between not just students, but parents and teachers too.
Number 6, inventive ways of learning can be the most effective. In grade 5, Mrs. Carlson gave us a daily word puzzle, commonly known as a wuzzle. Although many of us weren't overly invested in our regular schoolwork, wuzzles were different. Every morning, we would all race to the classroom to try to be the first to solve the wuzzle. It was the one time a day where everyone was completely devoted to something academic, making us all smarter without even noticing it.
Number 7, experimentation should be done under supervision. During our trip to Circle Square Ranch, Andrew made a new friend, Ronnie the gopher. And luckily for Ronnie, Andrew was feeling experimental that day and decided to feed him an Aero chocolate bar. This ended very poorly for Ronnie and led to the loss of Andrew's dear friend. Good thing Andrew doesn't have control over our biology experiments.
Number 8, competitiveness doesn't always lead to a win. Throughout all the years of gym classes, dodgeball has always been a class favorite, and one that brings out the extreme competitive nature of some. The safety of others was not always considered, and an attempt to get the win was placed above all else. This led to many tears from unintentional face shots and frequent periods of dodgeball bans. And when it would return, overhand throwing privileges were often revoked, much to the disappointment of Curtis, Sander, Maria, and Jared.
Number 9, it's never too late to admit to your mistakes. Once upon a time, after a long period of intricate painting in our rebellious junior high years, we got a little tired of washing paintbrushes and had to find a creative way to speed up the process. So, we may or may not have put a couple of paintbrushes down the drain. Unfortunately, the solution wasn't very effective as the brushes came shooting right back up when you turned on the water. More unfortunately for Pearl, one of them hit her directly in the eye on the way back up. So really, the idea just prolonged the cleanup process and resulted in bodily injury.
Number 10, always keep trying. Shop classes of Mr. Mars were a true testament to our persistence, especially during our cutting board project. After you had spent weeks perfecting your masterpiece, he had one final test to determine its durability. He would reach the cutting board as high as he could above his head and then drop it directly onto the concrete floor. If your cutting board did not survive this fall, you were forced to reconstruct it over and over and over again until it finally endured. By the end of this process, the amount of wood glue on our cutting boards no longer made them food safe.
Number 11, floor hockey truly is the worst gym unit. Not only is this a personal preference, but one with many incidents to prove the point. Much to the dislike of most of the class, Jared and Xander were always able to convince Miss J to have one day a year of floor hockey. We always left that class welted and wounded. But it was when Xander hit Jeremy in the eyebrow, leading to him needing stitches, that the sport was banned from the whole school, only to return later with required eye protection.
Number 12, you should at least try to get out of your comfort zone. Miss Drake's grade 7 English class had one very notable assignment, writing a parody of the song Hello by Adele and then presenting it in front of the class. Although the singing wasn't required, Xander embraced the opportunity to step out of his comfort zone and sang his parody about Peter Griffin not only once, but twice to the entire class. We will forever appreciate his bravery for how much entertainment it provided.
Number 13, perfection is boring. There have been many examples throughout the years of our class making less than perfect creations, but two stand out. In home ec 9, Sierra, Adam, and Ivan were tasked with making a batch of muffins. After a lack of communication while following the recipe, Ivan ended up baking the muffins missing a staple ingredient, flour. Much to their surprise, but probably not yours, the muffins didn't turn out quite edible. In fact, Sierra described them as looking like aliens farm. And of course, we couldn't possibly get through the speech without at least once mentioning Andrew's iconically tragic attempt to draw a butterfly. Rumor has it, Mr. P has the drawing hanging on his fridge as a conversation piece.
Number 14, punctuality isn't a necessity to graduate high school. As soon as we mention punctuality, many people in this room already know where we're going with this. Yes, Jared, we are talking about you. Despite his tragic attendance record in which he was on time a maximum of 7 days this year, he sits on stage with us this evening.
These memories help teach us many lessons, but we can't give all the credit to those moments as our wonderful parents and teachers guided us through all of our years at Daysland School. They have been an unwavering source of support and encouragement from the moment we left home for kindergarten until we walked onto this stage, and we know they will always be there cheering us on. We appreciate you for always allowing us to dream big and supporting us as we embark on these next steps, but we know we will always be there to guide us back home. For all of this and more, we thank you.
And of course, we have to thank our classmates for all the years of memories. So from celebrating with you in the loft of the kindergarten room for finally filling the kindness jar, to celebrating our graduation on this stage tonight, we cannot help but feel so lucky to have spent all these years together. To the class of 2023, congratulations to us, and we hope that all of our daydreams continue to become reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlin and Pearl. The graduates will now like to share a slideshow presentation created by Shaya and Bailey.
I wish somebody would have told me, babe. Soon as these would be the good old days. All the love you forget, and all these reckless nights you regret. Soon your whole life's gonna change. You miss the magic of these good old days.
I was thinking about the bands. I was thinking about the bands. We were underground, loading merch in that 12-passenger van in a small club in Minnesota. And the snow outside of First Ave. I just wanted my name and a star. Now look at where we at, still growing up. Still growing up. I would lay in my bed and dream about what I'd become. Couldn't wait to get on. Couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still young. There's still
I wish somebody would have told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that blast first. Wish I made it to homecoming. Got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would have gotten out of my shell. Wish I put the bottle back on that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what other people thought. I felt comfortable with myself. Rooftop open. And the stars are fire. All the phones are sneaking out and falling in love. Me, you, and that photon. We just begun. On the grass dreaming. Figuring out who I was. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would have told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Never thought we'd get old. Maybe we're still young. Maybe you always look back and think it was better than it was. Maybe these are the moments. Maybe I've been missing what it's about. Been scared of the future, thinking about the past while missing out on now. We've come so far. I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars. I've been around. I felt some pain and seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
You don't know.
Written in these walls, all the stories that I can't explain. I leave my heart open, but it stays right here empty for days. She told me in the morning she don't feel the same about us in her bones. Seems to me that when I die, these words will be written on my stone. And I'll be gone, gone tonight. The ground beneath my feet is over. The story of my life, take her home. I drive all night to keep her warm and time. It's frozen. The story of my life, I give her up, I spend her love until she's broken inside. The story of my life, the story of my life, the story of my
We will now call up Andrew and Jalen to present the most likelies.
Shy of late, most likely to miss school to go to the gym.
Sierra Dabbs, most likely to become an evil supervillain and take over the world.
Pearl Downey, most likely to argue with her doctor after a diagnosis because she knows more.
Xander L, most likely to fall asleep during class.
Jeremy Gooley, most likely to steal the DJ smoke machine.
Shane Gooley, most likely to pull out a sandwich in the middle of the ceremony. You got one over there, buddy?
Bailey Hellstone, most likely to get stuck in perfect row conditions.
Ivan Hudson, most likely to give a long, drawn-out explanation to a simple question.
Andrew Johns, most likely to skip school on a test day.
Eric Keeping, most likely to create a virus to take over the world.
Curtis Kozlowski, most likely to take 30 minutes filling up his water bottle with Shane and Andrew.
Nathan Logan, most likely to win the lottery but lose the ticket.
Carlin Petio, most likely to have monopoly over the town's babysitting jobs.
Jared Robbins. I bet you can already guess what the theme to this one is. Most likely to be late to his own funeral.
Rhea Schlow, most likely to choose going to volleyball over her own grad ceremony.
Jalen Schneider, most likely to take more naps than a 2-year-old.
Emma Schoenfelder, most likely to move Alberta and become a cowgirl.
Anson Weed, most likely to be the disappointed dad of any friend group.
Riley Zimmel, most likely to need a ladder to get up on stage.
Josh Zimmer, most likely to smack his head off a door frame.
Thank you, Jalen and Andrew. We will now have Mr. Wilson and Ms. Thomas come up to present the grads with their certificates. Graduates, as your name is called, please come across the stage to accept your scroll.
Shia Blake. Sierra Dax. Pearl Downey. Xander L. Jeremy Gooley. Shane Gooley. Bailey Huddlestone. Ivan Hudson. Andrew Johns. Eric Keeping. Curtis Kozlowski. Nathan Logan. Carlin Petio. Jared Robbins. Rhea Schlout. Jalen Schneider. Schoenfelder. Anson Wee. Riley Zimmel. And Josh Zimmer. That is your graduating class of 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson and Ms. Thomas. This brings us to the end of the formal program for this evening. A special thanks to all the speakers this evening. On behalf of everyone at Daysland School, we would like to thank you for attending the ceremony today.
We will now proceed with the Grand March. We ask that guests remain seated until all grads have exited the gym. After the grads have exited, the chairs need to be folded and stacked against the north wall. Once that is done, everyone can stand around the outside of the gym, and then the Grand March will commence.
Yeah, Shia!
The grads will now begin their grand march. They will proceed in partners in a circle around the gym and pose for pictures. Please wait until the grads have made at least 3 revolutions before stopping them for photos so that everyone has a chance to see them. Following the grand march, there will be 2 songs played for the parent dance and the partners dance. Once those 2 songs begin, you may start dancing.
And with that, it's our pleasure to present to you the graduating class of 2023.